Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Hi folks, today we're at a familiar place, the St. Joe Boat Ramp, and I have a great situation here because I'm going on a boat with some FWC biologists. Yep. Okay, and we got all kind of neat stuff. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and we're going to get started. So I'll start with you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Kelly Williams. I'm a biologist for FWRI, the research side of FWC. And yeah, we're mainly focusing on the bay scallop here today in Port St. Joe. So what we're doing is we deploy these little green traps and we basically pick up all the baby scallops that settle into those traps, and those become the restoration scallops that we're going to use in this new program that we're starting up, where we're having the public basically babysit our scallops for up to a year. Cool. So today is all about collecting the babies that will eventually become the brood stock, hopefully to restore the bay.
Oh, that sounds pretty good. Okay.
Okay, well, my name's Liz Pudlock. I'm also a biologist with FWRI and FWC, and I'm helping out with the scallop restoration project today. So.
Okay, what's your background?
It's marine biology. I have a lot of research experience in seagrass beds and benthic ecology. And
where'd you go to college?
Montclair State University. It's in New Jersey.
Oh, cool. And where'd you go to college?
University of Florida.
Oh, well. that's
go Gators!
You get a big plus already. All right, now.
My name's Cameron Baxley, and my background's also in marine biology. I went to College of Charleston. Yeah.
Okay, and you went to college where?
Charleston, South Carolina.
So we got three great backgrounds here.
Hopefully.
Okay, well, we're going to get started. I'm all excited. This is so neat to me because I'm used to trying to drive the boat or get the bait on the hook and, all kinds and video. So now all I got to do is video.
Yep.
Great.
I guess you've probably heard of the restoration cage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so it'll be pretty much just pulling up these traps, cutting them off, and putting them on those trays and picking through them. So that's pretty much all that there is to it. But yeah.
So we're actually go down to the town beach area.
Yep. We're just gonna work our way down, and then we'll end up at the cages.
Now, have you done this before?
Yes. So we started doing this. I mean, at least on this scale, we started it in November, and this was all kind of as a result of getting the scallop sitting program together, the cage, giving cages to the public. So basically, yeah, this is our stock of scallops for those cages. So we started pulling where we set out. We have 48 of these green traps in the bay, and they're out for 2 months at a time. So we pull them at the end of 2 months, and we just collect whatever live spat are in there, and those will actually end up going either into cages or to the FSU Marine Lab in some flow-through tanks. And then once they're big enough, once they're about, I wouldn't say completely mature, but a little bit submature, they'll go into cages given to the public, and then the public will take care of them for a year.
And the public will be babysitting them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Scholarship.
Yeah. And then hopefully that would increase reproductive success, just having them in close quarters and get these bays back to what they used to be. But
this is neat. Has this been done in other locations?
This is the first time that it has. So this is first year it's been done here, and I mean, as far as we're aware, I don't think it's been done any other bays. Not on like the public level.
Not on the Panhandle. As far as the scallop sitter program, I'm not aware of anybody else doing that. There have been other stock enhancements, I think, up along the Atlantic, where they've done larval releases, and then spat releases, and then also I think the cage restoration. So there's 3 different ways that you could potentially do the stock enhancement. Okay, cool.
Ooh. Tell me what y'all are biologists. So tell me what are all those birds doing over there?
We wonder that every hanging out, I think.
A lot of times they'll usually wait till the sun comes up and they can.
What I love is that you got this one little kingfisher, and he's got this whole territory there. He's like, that's my end, and then you got all the vultures.
He's got breakfast.
Yep.
I don't know what.
There's an eagle. Okay, we're at the first stop, and you can see where we are. It's a town beach, and Come here.
That's that.
All right, we're putting out these fresh ones over here, right?
Yep. So those will stay out for 2 months now.
For 2 months, okay.
So we alternate. So we've got where our blue. We've got some they're exactly the same type of traps, but you want me to go in reverse and tie it around your feet?
Just clean it off.
All right. Sometimes I get really, really stuck with these concrete blocks. This is only probably, I don't know, 2 millimeters. That's how small it gets. I don't know if your camera can even pick up how small that spat
Let me
is.
see.
I can pick it off.
Yeah. Wow.
But that is how small they can get.
That's a spat.
That is a spat, yes.
So I noticed the bags. Now, where do you get your bags from?
So these are just Florida citrus bags, right?
Yep.
And then inside this green mesh is actually intended to transport things like basketballs and shipping.
Yeah.
But it mimics seagrass and they will settle on it. So the goal really is just to pack these as much as possible to make them as puffy as possible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it seems to work, but they will have, I mean, like you just saw they were on the block and whatnot.
So each one of y'all, you will have a tray, and then you're going to count them individually?
Indeed,
Each bag?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll look at every single
You'll look
centimeter
at
of this thing.
Right.
I'm going to
Inside
look
and
at the
outside
donut.
the bag, as well as your green Vexar, your donut, and then we'll check all the blocks because a lot of times they'll just they'll settle on the inside of the blocks themselves. So
This is so interesting.
these little guys go everywhere.
We got to show this in the school system too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're gonna try with the AMI school there.
Yeah.
We're gonna go out with them hopefully in a week or two, maybe even
Friday.
this week.
Yeah.
And because they really want to help out with the project, so
Yeah.
getting them involved is gonna be great too. First 2 weeks are pretty much just larval floating wherever the current's gonna take them,
Yeah.
and then they pretty much settle out.
This is interesting. That's on this side of the bay system.
Yeah.
This is interesting because I would think be over there around Black's Island and the peninsula at the state park.
Yeah.
What's your thinking on that? Why you think that's the case?
That they're over here.
Yeah.
All we've found so far is, or that we've been told so far, is that it's just the way the currents work through
Yeah.
St. Joe, is that these currents pull them up from probably Blacks this way towards town.
Yeah.
And they end up just getting pulled in over town side.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, you find them all over. Behind adults, you'll find them over at we were finding them at the point, we were finding them behind Black's Island, but
Yeah.
and we still find spat, at the other stations. It's just these have been the most abundant.
The adults, until you get closer to Fresno's, we really don't see many adults right up here. So it's kind of a, you wonder, all the spat obviously get up here, do they settle out and does something get them, or, I don't know.
Can we narrow it down as biologists about when the spawn is? And then you were saying...
I think historically what they've seen is usually after the first cold snap, so like late September, early October, whenever the waters first, drop a few degrees,
Okay.
that traditionally was what triggered the scallops to spawn.
Okay.
And then they would continue throughout the winter.
Well, you're saying these are so small, they're obviously still going on maybe?
They're still going on. I think also what Kelly was just saying is that traditionally it would start at the cold snap, but there haven't been as many cold snaps, so it's been more October, just that time of the year. And then I think they would stop right around January, but here we are, February, and they're still going.
Cool.
So we don't really know until we get out here and start looking at these things these trapped.
Okay, you were just talking about, you know, the red tide we had, what, 2015?
Yep, 2015, early 2016. Yeah.
As a scientist and all, what kind of effect did that have on
So what it does is, unlike some of the algal blooms, red tide will actually kill the scallops.
Yeah.
So when you kill your adults, you're not going to have the spawn that you would typically see. And because it hit in the fall, we never had that spawn event. So we lost a whole year's worth of juveniles, basically.
It hit us pretty hard over here.
Yeah, it sure did. And so, you know, that pretty much set us back to not complete zero, but we had such a small recruitment compared to what it was. So then basically, you know, you're starting over with, that's why we're trying to do these restoration programs to get more adults spawning, just so that you can up the, you know, the potential brood stock in the bay.
Yeah, it actually went into collapse from the red tide event. The scallop fishery was technically in collapse. They did open the season for 2 weeks, I think, here, but it was technically in collapse. There's mostly shrimp, but you'll see there's a spat there. There's a spat there.
Little baby shrimp.
But mostly
We can always...
amphipods and shrimp. Super green.
What is that?
These right here are amphipods right here.
Okay.
And then these are your shrimp right here. All sorts of different colors. But yeah, and then occasionally you'll see a spat.
Yep.
There's another spat.
That is cool.
So what we did is, after we picked our scallops, we gave a count on each of them, and then we put them in these fine mesh bags. And you can kind of see there's a little group of them down there at the bottom.
Okay.
And what they'll do is, actually, we'll keep them in bags like this until they're large enough to be loose in a cage. And you know, we'll just clean the bags every week, make sure that they can still get a good amount of water flow in. And then for the rest of today, we'll just put them in this bucket with a bubbler in there and do some water changes so that they got fresh water until we move them down to the cages.
Okay, so putting fresh ones down there?
Yep, indeed. So every time we pick up a trap, we'll throw a new one out. So getting these ones ready. So yeah, it's basically just our classic citrus bag with the green Vexar mesh inside, attached to a cinder block with a big old float on top that says FWRI. And we hope that nobody wants to mess with them, but you know, every once in a while they'll end up in a weird spot and you don't know if it's the currents or maybe somebody got in a prop and just drug it for a while or what, but for the most part they're usually where we expect them to be.
So that replicates the grass bed.
Indeed, yeah. So it basically simulates grass beds, and scallops will just settle out into them and gives us a good idea as to what the population is doing.
Okay, so how many do you have right there?
So this is 57 of them.
57?
Yep. Okay. And
so write it down here. 7, okay.
And we just put them right into the mesh bag with all their little relatives.
All the cousins.
Yeah, all the cousins. A little family reunion. Alright. And then we're on to the next. So yeah, we got a total of 83 at this station.
So that's one station, and we're going to do how many?
And
you see there, yeah. Yep. There's like 13 on one, 13 on one trap, and then 57 on the other trap.
And then we've got 16 stations total, and we usually do it over 2 days. We usually do about 8 stations a day. Cool. So we'll see what we get to.
poking like.
What is that?
That is a clingfish. He clings. He's got a suction modified fin that's pretty much a suction cup, and I'm poking him, and he is not moving at all. Oh, there we go. So yeah, let me see if I can. Oh, it keeps grabbing on.
That's cool.
Yeah. But they're in our blocks a lot.
They are.
Pretty slimy little things. But yeah, they're. Ah. Oh, come on now. That is what he will grab on.
Now go suction.
Yep. So we find them a lot.
So Cameron, how many you get this time?
I only got 6.
Only got 6?
And Kelly keeps going.
Kelly, how many you get?
I've got.
You rolling.
What do you
Yeah,
got?
it looks. I've
2,
probably gotten
4, 6,
the 30
8.
range, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So she wins this one. Won last time.
That's
All right,
crazy.
what did Liz get?
I got 14.
14. All right.
How many you get?
14?
14?
Yep.
Folks, you know, sometimes you have a scallop and you see like an orange shell. So you have it right here, don't you?
So yeah, you see all these are the normal colors. For that one right there is that orange morphology.
Now, what would cause that? Oh, just a different genetics or something? Or?
I don't know.
I think they said genetically that they're
I think they're because they're the same species, so
Yeah,
genetically
same
they're
species.
same, but the morphology just for whatever reason is different. So I guess it'd be something similar to, you know, I don't know what our hair color.
Hair color in the family.
So red
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah. All right, Cameron, we're on our 3rd stop, so what's the count looking like now?
Well, we had one trap that only had 4, and then I just counted 25 on mine, and I have no idea what. Kelly, do you know what you got?
I guess I was in the 20s range.
So
How many Kelly get?
Maybe around 20, 30. I don't know.
Okay.
this is pretty much what we're looking at for here.
Okay.
Yep.
And tell us about this right here.
Yeah, that guy's a little bit older.
He's mature.
And that one was just happened to be on. It was not on a trap. He just happened to end up on the boat.
Cameron, now what is this here?
So these are some of our restoration cages. So we've got mostly hatchery scallops in these cages.
Okay.
We do have a couple of cages that have wild scallops in them that we collected here from St. Joe. So we're gonna just pull these guys up. They essentially look like crab traps.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's looking familiar. Cool.
So these are the cages that we'll be handing out to people in April, at the end of April. So this is what they'll be taking care of. So if they don't have a dock and they're just going to place these in the bay somewhere, we'll put these PVC legs on them to keep them off the ground, and we'll have this brick that's underneath the cages.
Oh, yeah.
Lay it down.
Uh-huh.
And
Okay.
if it's just on a dock, then they can just tie the cage directly off the dock. They don't have to worry about having legs.
How many do you try to, I mean, what's going to be the
About
number?
20.
About 20?
We're going to put about 20. A lot of it just depends on how many we can get to raise up to the right size. But the goal is to give people 20 scallops in their cage to babysit for us.
And how often will they need to be monitored?
So we're asking people to come out once a month, to just come check on them, clean the cages, clean the scallops. You get barnacles on them. You want to make sure that all that gets knocked off. If they can't open their shell, then they can't feed. So once a month until January of next year, so January 2019. And then that will be pretty much when they're done spawning, and we'll take the scallops back and release them back into the bay.
Not the best.
Got some juicy socks there, man.
You got wet.
Our boat looks like a disaster when we clean all those cages.
Oh, yeah.
Pull all the cages up onto the boat.
Well, who
And,
cleans the boat?
We do.
You have to clean the boat too?
What? Of course. Yeah. Biologists, maids.
That's part of the job description?
Of course. They didn't put that in the job description. But
was
it's,
definitely
So y'all went to college, you got all this education, and you still got to clean the boat.
Yep, still gotta clean the boat.
Yeah.
That's
just
what I
one.
got the degree for.
Indeed.
Well, we're going to wrap things up. It's been a great trip. Thank you so much for taking me.
It was great.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah. We certainly appreciated having you on here.
Well, I learned a whole lot myself, and our goal is to educate our viewers and the public in general. You know, one of the big things, this doesn't cost a lot of money because I see we have concrete blocks, and I mean this.
Yep. And citrus bags and everything.
Bags,
you know.
bags.
High-tech equipment.
High-tech.
Yeah. Yep.
So what would you like to say in closing and all, any of y'all, about wrapping things up, about, you know, about the public, how they can help and all?
Yeah, I guess really what we're looking for is anybody who, you know, has particularly likes being out on the water or might live on the water, either in St. Joe or in St. Andrews Bay. We're looking for volunteers to take care of some of our scallops. So we'd give you one of those cages like we showed earlier, and we'd ask that you clean that once a month. It's pretty good work, you know. You can bond with your scallops. You can name them if you like, but you know, the point of the program would just be to get more scallops out in the bays, and hopefully then we'd have some, you know, future population increases and some, you know, have a good successful population in both St. Andrews and St. Joseph Bay. Yeah, so I guess that's about.
Well, you know, on Panhandle Outdoors, we talk all the time about being conservationists, and we're all stakeholders in all of this, all of us together, the biologists and us as viewers. Yeah. So this is a great opportunity for some of us to step up and do some help.
Yeah, so, take it back to the bay. Right on.
Well, we're going to get one right straight across from us is a peninsula, and we're going to get one hooked up over there.
That's awesome.
Okay?
Cool.
Yeah, so you're going to be a scallop sitter, huh?
Yeah.
That's right.
Scallop dad?
I'm going to name mine.
I know. We've had people, you know, want to decorate the shells a certain way. You know, this guy gets this one gets that, but yeah, no, it'd be interesting to have some of the scallop sitters come on and give us their take on it, their take on our job and how they like taking care of the scallops.
Yeah.
Well, it's a win-win for everybody. I want to thank y'all for, you know, the job y'all do and the sincerity y'all have in it. So we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.